Hello, hello. My name is Craig. I'll be facilitating Qigong practice for this session. I'll begin the practice in a few minutes. At the moment, it is 5:57 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, December 7th. I know you might be catching this another time, so appreciate that. Usually start classes at 6 p.m. So just getting a few minutes before class begins. For a quick breakdown of what's going to happen, I'll say that again, I'll reiterate it. Just going to do a Qigong practice. Qigong, ancient Chinese practice for thousands of years. A practice which allows us to connect with the present moment, connect with our energy, to release stress, just to take an opportunity to engage in a form of self-care. So we'll be doing this practice in a few minutes. I do an hour practice, 60-minute practice, but this is your practice. You're able to participate in whatever way feels good for you. You can break it up, you can take breaks. You don't have to do the entire practice. Do what feels good, do what supports you. I'll give a breakdown of what I'll be doing for this practice in a couple of minutes. And the schedule of this practice is the first and third Tuesday of every month. So I'll begin soon. And welcome. If you're checking out this practice, wondering what it's about, give a quick intro to that very soon. All right. And hopefully everyone can hear me clearly, can see me. Even step back a little bit when I begin the full practice. All right. And I will begin practice soon. My apologies if I'm having any camera issues. No, my connection has been a little bit spotty. Let me see if I can do anything for that. All right. I'll begin soon. All right, let's make this practice happen. To reintroduce myself, my name is Craig. Been teaching for Toyota for almost, I want to say 3 years. That's been pretty good. I'll be facilitating this Qigong class. For those who are new to Qigong, Qigong, spelled Qigong, is an ancient Chinese energy, wellness, mindfulness practice. It's been a practice for thousands of years. It consists of coordinating the body with the breath and engaging in meditation, visualization, gentle movements, which allow yourself to connect with your healing ability. We all have the ability to heal. We all have systems and healing energy inside of us. We just have to take time, engage in practices that allow us to elicit that healing. And Qigong is a practice that can do that. And this is what we will be doing for this class. This class can be done standing up. I'll be doing it standing, but you can even do it seated or even laying down. This class is a 60-minute practice, and here's a breakdown for how the class will be laid out. So for the first 5 to 10 minutes, just giving an intro, and then I'll move into aligning the 3 treasures. The 3 treasures are body, breath, and mind. This is just a way of checking in with our posture, our breath, and our attention, so we can get the most out of our Qigong practice. Next, after that, we do 5 foundational movements of Valley Qigong practice. And you will see these movements for those who have been participating for the beginning of every class. And that will take us to the midway point of the class, the 30-minute mark. And after that halfway point, we engage into the second half of the class. And I'll begin that second half with some tapping. Then I'll move into some flowing movements. And I'll take some time to do standing meditation. I might do one a little bit longer, maybe one that is 4 to 5 minutes, just a simple standard standing meditation, embrace the tree. Then we'll close class. So that is pretty much the breakdown for the 16 minutes of the Qigong practice. We're just a few minutes in, so let's just transition to aligning the 3 treasures. And part of what I like to do with aligning the 3 treasures is taking notice of your surroundings, take a notice of your environment, internal, external. So let's engage in that right now. So just make sure you have enough space for yourself. We're bringing our arms out, up, in front, and back. We're even stepping out a little bit too. But for those who are seated or laying down, that's not necessary, not something you have to engage in. Just making sure you have space for yourself. You have anything you need around. Might need a chair, might need water. Even though there's not a vigorous practice, do what feels good for you, what allows you to feel supported as you engage in this practice. And let's move into aligning the body. So let's bring our feet together. And let's just take a notice of our connection to the ground in this moment. Notice how your feet are connected to the ground, to the earth. What do you sense, what do you feel? Noticing the texture of the floor, how it feels. And for those who are standing, we're going to shift our weight to our right foot, step out with our left. If I haven't mentioned it already, I'll be mirroring you. So now with our feet separated and stepped apart, though still parallel, they can be hip width, shoulder width apart, whatever feels good. Noticing how the weight is equally distributed between both feet. And let's continue aligning the body. So let's check in with our knees. Our knees are soft, so they can be locked and gently unlocked. We don't want to have our knees locked, or really any joints locked, because that causes stress. We want energy to move freely throughout the body. Let's check in with our pelvis. Tailbone is tucked underneath the spine. Pure bone is tilted up. That levels the pelvic bowl. Let's check in with the chest. Chest is open. Let's check in with the arms. Arms have a slight bend in the elbows. Palms are facing towards the body. Fingers are spread apart. Hands are soft. Noticing how that feels. I'll step a little bit closer for the next portion. So we're going to take an opportunity to check in with the neck, the shoulders, and the wrists. Tend to carry a lot of tension and stress in these areas. We're going to engage in exercises that can release that tension. So let's start off with the shoulders. I'm going to move into shoulder rolls. You're welcome to follow me or engage in any practices that feel good for you in your shoulders. So I'm going to do 3 shoulder rolls forward and then 3 shoulder rolls backwards. So let's begin. Rolling the shoulders. Now reverse that movement. All right. Let's take an opportunity to check in with the wrists. So we can just bring our hands up, just underneath the chest, solar plexus height. And we can just roll our hands around in one direction. Let's do it 5 times. And then we'll reverse the movement. Reversing the movement. All right, allow your hands to flow down. And let's check in with our neck, engaging in exercises to just release tension in the neck. So you can follow along. Let's look over to the right side. Let's bring the head back to center, facing forward, and let's look over to the left side. Bring the head back to center. Let's gaze downward and allow the chin to drop. Let's bring the head back to center and then gaze upwards. And bring the head back to center. And we can engage in circles with the nose, which allows us to do some neck rotations. So allow the chin to drop, making circles with the nose, doing 2 neck rotations in one direction, then reversing the movement. Being kind and gentle as you perform this movement. I'm all set, so I'm going to bring my head over the spine. We're going to finish aligning the body. So let's check in with the eyes. Eyes are a soft gaze, or whatever feels good for you. Checking in with the brow and the jaw. Tend to carry a lot of tension there. See if you can soften the brow, unhinge the jaw. Checking in with the mouth. Mouth can be in the form of a smile. Smiling tends to release good chemicals, endorphins throughout the body. Do what feels good for you. And you can check in with the tongue. Tongue can be rested at the roof of the mouth, and the tip of the tongue can be connected to the back of the 2 front teeth. And now that we've aligned the body, let's move into aligning the breath. The breath practice we like to do for these classes is called Dantian breathing, also known as deep belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. And to demonstrate, I'll just bring the left hand to the abdomen. So as you inhale, take a deep breath. Lungs fill with air and the abdomen expands. As you exhale, abdomen softens, lungs empty of air. So let's do it one more time. Inhale. Lungs fill, navel moves away from the spine. Exhale. Lungs empty. Abdomen softens, navel moves close to the spine. All right. And for breathing, again, do it. Breathing type feels good for you. You can engage in spontaneous breathing, natural breathing, just whatever serves you. And lastly, let's take an opportunity to align the mind. The mind is powerful. Whatever we focus on, that's what we give energy to. There's a saying in Qigong where the mind goes, the chi flows. And that is evident, and we'll bring that up throughout the practice. So again, noticing where your attention is, and let's set an intention to bring our attention to the present moment. And one practice we can do is let's bring up our left hand to represent the past, right hand to represent the future. Bring the hands close together but not touching. And let's bring our attention to the space in between. And the space in between is going to represent the present. That's what we want to come back to. And we can come back to the present using any variety of anchors, or just noticing what's happening in our environment, whether it's internal, let's say our energy, our breath, our heartbeat, or external, checking in with our senses. So let's set an intention to come back, bring our attention to the present moment. And we can allow our hands to flow down, and we can begin these flowing gestures. Let's begin. We're going to start off with full body breathing. So let's inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands out and down by the sides. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands out and down. Going at your own pace, modifying the movement so it suits you. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands out and down by the sides. Let's do a few more repetitions in this direction. I'll do one more repetition on my end. In this direction. We're going to reverse direction of the movement in just a moment. We can begin transitioning to that right now. So now we're going to inhale the hands up by the sides. Exhale the hands down from the body. Noticing how that transition feels for you. Again, making any modifications, altering the movement so it supports you and your body. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you're experiencing. What are you aware of in this moment? I'm going to do 3 more repetitions of this movement on my end. Then I'll transition to the next gesture. So 2 more repetitions on my end. And 1 more repetition. And let's transition to the next movement. Just allowing your hands to just flow down and just hang loose for a brief moment. And we're now going to bring our hands in front of the lower dantian, from the lower abdomen. Hands, palms are facing up, fingers are pointing towards each other. Hands are at waist height. Let's begin this next movement. Let's inhale, hands up to heart height. Turn palms over, exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Noticing how that feels. Inhale, hands back up. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Inhale. Exhale. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you're connecting with in the present moment. You can also see how it feels to extend the exhale, the downward motion of the movement. Extending the exhale can stimulate more of the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us relax, helps us heal. Noticing your connection to the earth. Noticing how it feels to be supported by the earth in this moment. Supported by the ground. Let's do a few more repetitions. One more repetition. And let's transition to the next gesture. So we're going to find ourselves palms still facing up, Bible lower down to you. We're going to inhale the hands up to our height, but this time, with the fingers pointing upward, we're going to imagine we're holding a ball between our hands. And this is for a brief moment, for a few seconds, connecting with the idea of holding a ball. And just however you experience that. Is there something you can sense in your hands? Is there this visualization that comes to you? In other words, if that doesn't come up, just allow yourself to just be in the present moment with your hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend our hands out in front of the chest, slight bend the elbows. We're going to begin the next movement. We're going to inhale, open up the hands out and apart. Gaze upwards towards the sky, ceiling. Feel the stretch in the chest. Exhale, look forward. Bring the hands close together but not touching. And we're going to restart the movement. Inhale, open up. Exhale, look forward. Bring the hands close together. Not touching. Inhale, open up. The hands control the arms as they flow. Exhale, looking forward. Bring the hands close together, not touching. Let's do this for 3 more repetitions. Going at your own pace. Going at your own rhythm. I'll do one more repetition on my end. As you bring your hands back close together, we're just going to take a brief moment to engage in intuitive movement, just however you'd like to express yourself holding a ball. Just, again, imagining that you're holding a ball between your hands. And how would you like to move that ball? Or how would you like to move with the ball? And however that shows up for you, we're just going to do this for the next minute. Maybe you're just rotating the ball. Maybe you can imagine that you can expand it, make it smaller, condense it. Or you just want to circle it around, making figure 8s. However you want to show up. I'll do this for another 20 seconds. We're just going to bring this intuitive movement, free expression to a close. So let's bring our hands back to that starting position. Hands are in front of the chest. Arms are extended, slight bend the elbows. We're now going to turn the hands. So the palms are facing towards ourselves, the chest. Fingers are pointing towards each other. We're going to inhale the hands, draw the hands in towards the body. Exhale, allow the hands to trace down the torso. And we're now going to swivel the hands. So the palms face up, and we're going to inhale, hands up to shoulder height. Turn the palms over, exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Hands can move past the body. Inhale. Hands float back up, shoulder height. Exhale. Hands flow down. Noticing how that feels. And again, going at your own pace, modifying the movement for yourself. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel. There are a few variations to this movement. I'm just going to do a couple of them. I'll introduce the first variation and then one more repetition. We'll do shifting forward and backwards. Next time you're inhaling the hands up, shift the weight on the bottom feet to the front of the feet. As you turn your palms over, allow the hands to float down, shifting the weight into the heels. So as you inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Noticing how that feels. You can imagine you're giving yourself a foot massage. If you want to make this a balance practice, as you're inhaling the hands up, maybe you're able to lift the heels and put the weight onto the ball of the feet. As you exhale, as the hands pull down, shifting the weight into the heels, lifting the toes. So you inhale, lift up the heels. Exhale, weight is in the heels, lift the toes. Again, it is all optional. Do what feels comfortable for you. I'll do 2 more repetitions of this variation. Then we'll transition to the variation of bringing the feet together and stepping them apart. Here's my last repetition of this variation. So let's transition to the next variation. So next time you're inhaling the hands up, let's bring the left foot to the right foot. Exhale, left steps away from right. And now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to inhale, right, next to left. Right steps away from left. So inhale, bring the left foot to the right foot. Exhale, left foot steps away from right. Inhale, right foot to left foot. Exhale, right foot steps away. Seeing how that feels. And there are variations within this variation. So as you bring the feet together, you might be rising up. As you're stepping the feet apart, you're sinking down. Slight bend in the knees and hips. Or maybe you want to make this a balance practice. You can have most of the weight in one foot and the other foot is the empty foot. Or if you're able to, you can lift the leg as you're lifting up the arms. And lowering it down as you lower down the arms. Turn both legs, seeing how that feels. I'll do one more pass for each side. Then we'll return to the original floor movement with both feet planted on the ground. I'll do that right now. So with both feet planted on the ground, just moving your arms, inhaling hands back up to shoulder height. Turn the palms over, exhale, allow the hands to flow back down. Again, arms can flow past the body to extend the exhale. Noticing how this feels. Do 2 more repetitions. Noticing connection with the earth. One more time, one more repetition. There we go. Just allowing your arms to just flow down and just hang, just loose. And we're going to transition to shaking, the last of the standard Valley Qigong movements that begin the practice. So we're shaking, just vibrating, just moving in a way that feels good for you. I'm just going to start it off slow. Shaking is also known as cooking Qi or shake the tree. So I'm just going to begin with just shaking the hands. Letting that shaking move into the arms, shoulders, torso and the head, the hips and the legs, and the feet. And shaking can be a great way to release energy and stress. Animals in the wild shake to release stress. But that's more of an autonomic thing. But shaking can just be a way of just movement. Vibration can be dance. It can be shaking from side to side. Bring out your arms and your legs, whatever feels comfortable for you. In this practice, we do what's called Blithering Breath. Almost forgot it for a moment. So blithering breath is just a way of releasing stress audibly. So it could come with a sound, so it could be yawn, or noise that feels good for you, or just letting out a sigh, a yawn. We'll do 3 blithering breaths. Blithering breaths just tend to go well with shaking. So when I say inhale, take a deep breath, and exhale, slow, that feels good. Let's do 3 blithering breaths. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. One more. Inhale. All right. Turn into a yawn for me. Let's transition to the end of this shaking practice. There's a sequence to end this practice. So let's bring the hands out. Hands up above, over the head. Hands out in front. Hands behind back. Let's bring the hands out to the sides. Fingers point towards the ground. If it's available to you, you can gaze in slight bend in knees, hips. Get close to the ground, close to the earth. And then for the next 30 seconds, just shaking however you want to shake. Maybe you want to engage in a high vibration shake, or just something really slow, or just beginning to conclude your shaking practice, as I will be doing myself. So I'm just going to be slowing down this shaking. And the next 10 seconds, I'll bring the shaking to the close. And if it's available to you, you can come to stillness. If stillness doesn't feel comfortable for you or available, you can transition to to swaying from side to side, or rocking forward and backwards. But if you are able to come to stillness, see if you can bring awareness to what's happening in your internal environment, noticing what you sense. Seeing if you can be with sensations, energy, your aliveness. What do you notice? That is not available to you, just checking what's happening in your environment. What are you sensing? With your eyes, your nose, your ears, just checking in that way. These all bring us to the present moment. If it feels comfortable for you, you can bring your hands to any part of your body that you'd like to connect with in this moment. We'll just take another minute to just be. It's an opportunity to not worry about what you're doing and bring your attention to yourself, just to allow. As mentioned earlier, where the mind goes, the chi flows. So again, just taking this time to be with yourself, be with your energy. I'm just going to allow my hands to just float off. I'm going to move to the second half of class in just a moment. Just noticing how you feel right now. Checking in with your connection to the ground. How's that feel? Checking in with your joints. Doing any type of movement. And again, taking any breaks, pauses, whatever you need for yourself. So the second half of the class is going to consist of tapping. Then there'll be some gentle flowing movements, and then there'll be a standing meditation. All right, let me just quickly check the time, and yeah, that will all happen within about 26 minutes. So let's begin. Let's start with some tapping. And tapping just would be light, but I also want to let people know that instead of tapping, if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can just trace over the areas that I'm tapping, or you can massage. Those are alternatives. I'll just be tapping on my end. You're welcome to do that too. So I'm going to start off with the chest, and it's going to be making soft fists, just tapping the chest. You can do the same. Just noticing how that feels. And then we're going to move that tapping in to the arms. So we're going to extend the right hand up. We're going to start at the top of the neck and shoulder, going down the inner arm. And palm over, tapping up the outer arm. We're going to do that 2 more times for a total of 3 times for this arm, and we'll do the left arm. Alright, let's bring the right hand, starting at the neck, shoulder, extend, left hand out, palm facing up, tapping down the inner arm, tapping up the outer arm. Let's do that 2 more times. Alright, now let's tap down the side of the torso to the hips. And if you'd like, you can lift up the right arm, send it up towards the sky. Just start down the armpit, just tapping down. And when you make it to the hip, waist, just bring the hand back up, just tap down. We'll do that for a total of 3 times. Allow right hand to flow down. And now the left hand flows up. We'll do the same on the opposite side. So 3 times down the side of the body. Alright, we can engage in the movement as we tap the back. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can do it a simple way, just tapping the upper back, just one hand. Or the other way is where we just engage in a motion, where we're tapping the upper back with one hand and the armpit. And we'll switch. There's more of a coordinated movement you can follow up. So just want to make sure there's options and alternatives. So I'll just do that. We'll start with the right side and the left side. Let's do this 2 more times on each side. All right. We're going to bring our attention and awareness to the kidneys. Make soft fists, or again, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just begin to tap there. Kidneys, lower back. Kidneys have a lot of energy. And what we're going to do is we're going to transition to tapping down the lower back and tapping up the inner legs. So again, being kind and mindful for yourself. Tapping down the lower back, to the legs. Bending the way that feels comfortable. Tapping front of the feet, tapping up the inner legs. Bring the hands back to the lower back kidneys. Do that 2 more times. All right, and we'll do tap a few more areas. We're going to tap down the side legs and up the front of the legs. Then we'll tap the head, just gentle tap. So let's do that. Tapping down the side legs, tapping up the front legs. So let's start tapping down the side legs, tapping up the front. Do this for a total of 3 times. All right, almost set tapping. Let's just do some gentle tapping of the head. I just like to do some raindrops. Imagine my fingers are raindrops and just tapping the head. But this can, again, be replaced with massaging or tracing over the head. Do what feels good for you. Do this for another 10 seconds. All right. When you're all set, just allow your hands to just slow down. Noticing how you feel right now. You might have generated some energy, you might have released some energy. Let's move into some flowing movement. So let's start off simply. Let's start off with Taiji Opening, also known as opening flow. Tends to be the beginning of Taiji. So we're going to start with our arms hanging. And we're going to inhale, imagine the wrists draw up the hands up to shoulder height. And then exhale, allow the hands to just flow back down. Give another angle. Inhale. Exhale. Kind of similar to flowing movement, except we're not flipping the palms. So inhale. Exhale. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. If you like, see if you can extend that exhale. See how that feels for you. And 1 more repetition. All right, let's transition to another exercise. Let's bring our hands to the chest and let's make prayer hands. And the knuckles can be connected to the sternum, close to the heart. And we're going to do prayer rings. So if you like, you can add a slight bend in the knees, hips. So we're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to spread the hands apart. Palms face out. Inhale. Draw the hands in. Exhale. Spread the hands apart. If you like, you can sink a little bit. Inhale, draw the hands in. Exhale, press the hands out. Noticing how that feels. Inhale. Bring the hands towards the chest. Exhale. Let's do this 3 more times. Go at your own pace and speed. And when you're all set, just inhaling the hands back in towards the chest, making prayer hands. Let's take a inhale and then sigh. Allow the hands to flow down. We'll transition to another movement. It's a movement that I have seen performed by Nick Lofty. Fish jumping out of the lake. So what we're going to do is bring our hands to about waist height, Taiji height. And we're going to begin shifting from right side to left side. And the hands is moving from side to side. These hands are really fish. They jump out and back into the water. We're just going to enjoy this movement. The side to side movement. See if you can shift weight from side to side. See how that feels. And we're going to begin gazing in the fish jumping movement. And we'll start off with the left hand. So when you find your hands flowing to the right side with the left hand, drop and then inhale up. And around back to left side. Now we're going to do the right side. So as the hands flow to the left side, right hand up and over back to the right side. And we'll continue to alternate. Left hand up and over back to the left side. Right hand up and over back to the right side. Let's do one more pass for each hand. So one more for the left, one more for the right. And now we're just gonna move the hands from left to right in the horizontal plane, not moving the hands out the water. The fish are not jumping. And let's just return to center, bring the hands back to center, just allow them to flow down. Alright. So we got about 13 minutes left for class. We're going to continue doing some more flowing movements. Then we'll engage in standing meditation, which we'll do for about 4 minutes. Hope this is allowing you to connect with yourself, connect to the present moment, connect with your energy. We'll keep going. We'll keep doing this. So let's transition to the next movement. The next movement will be just another flowing movement, a water element movement. So we're going to bring the hands to the midline, center channel, center of the body. We're going to turn the palms away from each other. Back of the hands are facing each other. We're going to draw up the hands. And then, as the hands make it up to chest height, we're going to turn the waist. We're going to spread the hands apart. Right hand faces forward, left hand flows back. Hands draw down. We're going to bring the hands back to the center. Inhale them up the midline. Exhale. Left hand flows in front, right hand flows in back. Bring the hands back to center. Just going to keep doing this flow. Right hand in front, left hand in back. The hips mainly face forward, you're turning at the waist. So you inhale the hands up through the center. Exhale the hands out. Noticing how that feels. Let's do 2 more for each side. Let's do 1 more pass for each hand, or each side really. So as we face more towards the left side, and pass there, and 1 more pass, so you face more to the right. You turn into the center, allowing your hands to just hang for a brief moment. Noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel. Alright, let's transition to another movement, another flying movement, moon over the water. So we're going to, it's almost similar to the fish jumping on the water, but it's a slightly different variation and less shifting weight. So we're just going to imagine that we're holding the moon in our hand. And what we're going to do is just circle the moon. Inhale up, over, drive over to the right side, bring it across, inhale up and over, draw it to the left side, inhale up, put it across, to the right side, draw it back, to the left side. Just imagining that you're holding the moon in your hand. You can inhale up and across, exhale, down and around. Let's do a few more times in this direction. One more repetition for me. Now go the opposite direction. Noticing where your attention is, noticing where your awareness is, coming back to that moon. You're watching, hanging, moving across the water as it shines so brightly. Let's do a few more repetitions. Let's do 1 more repetition. Just bring the hands to center, just allow them to flow down. All right. Let's do one more flowing movement, and then we'll transition to the standing meditation, which we'll do for 4 minutes. And the last flowing movement we'll do is just pebbles across the ground. So we're going to bring our hands sort of about solar plexus height at the side of the ribs, palms facing up. Then we're going to flip the hands over, so palms facing down. We're going to exhale, press the hands out in front of us, circle them around, bring them back to the side of the ribs, solar plexus height. Press out. Exhale, inhale, draw the hands in. So pebbles across the palm. And do this for a few more repetitions. Then we'll transition to the standing meditation, but just engaging in this light flowing movement. Exhale the hands out. Inhale, draw the hands in. Palms turns upwards. The hands make it to the body. Imagining your hands are pebbles and they're creating ripples through the palm. You can see how it feels to extend the exhale. Let's do 3 more repetitions. One more repetition. Just inhale, hands in, draw in the hands towards the side, and exhale, allow the hands to flow down. All right, we're going to engage in a standing meditation. We're going to do it for 4 minutes. That'll take us about to the end of class. The standing meditation just helps us connect to cells, to the ground, to the earth, getting that support. And it's a foundational practice in Qigong. So let's do that for 4 minutes. Now, it's been a while since I've done more than a minute-long standing meditation. So, as always, as your practice, do what feels good for you, what allows you to feel supported and comfortable. Let's make this standing meditation practice happen. So we're going to inhale the hands up to about shoulder, chest height. Turn the fingers so they're pointing towards each other. Imagine that you're hugging a tree, embracing a tree. So arms are around. Slight drop in the elbows, shoulders are relaxed. Slight bend in the knees, tailbone tucked underneath the spine. We're just going to be here for 4 minutes. And don't worry, I have a timer. We'll be good. So with the standing meditations, being able to, even though you're still connecting with the movement that is happening. Again, noticing where there's tension, see if I can release that tension. Noticing how your feet are connected to the ground. Is the weight equally distributed? And slight bend in the knees. Chin back, ears up. Got 3 more minutes to go. If you're feeling, strain or tension, tight, acute pain in your shoulders, you can allow your hands to just drop down. You're always allowed to take care of yourself. Qigong is not about pain, it's about energy and healing. But again, noticing where your awareness is, noticing your attention. Noticing what you feel and sense in this moment. All right, you got 2 more minutes to go. Where is your attention and awareness right now? Coming back to the present moment. If you find yourself ruminating, your mind wandering, and that's okay. Mind thinks, ruminates, and tries to solve problems. Just come back to the present moment. There's no problem to solve. Just being here. And we have 1 more minute to go. We're doing well. Okay, checking in with yourself. What do you notice? What do you sense? What are you experiencing right now? Good, checking in with your connection to the ground, checking in with your connection to the sky, and what is around you. And almost there. And we can begin turning our palms and facing down. Gently lower our hands, one foot down. And we're going to begin to close this practice just as we began. So we're going to turn palms facing up. Inhale, the hands facing towards the sky. Bring the left foot to the right foot. As the hands make overhead, turn the palms facing towards you. Lower the hands from the body. Showering yourself whatever you need from this practice. Gently lowering the hands. You're going to do that movement 2 more times without moving the legs. So inhale. Palms facing the direction of travel. Gathering overhead. Exhale. Palms facing towards you. Showering down. Energy, support, whatever you need. Whatever you'd like to take from this class. So inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Showering yourself support. And to completely close this practice, this is where I will not be marrying you. I'll bring up my right hand, make a soft fist, and you can do the same. This represents yang energy, energy of the day, energy of action. You can bring up your left hand, palm is open towards the sky. Left hand will represent yin energy, energy of the night, energy of the earth and the moon. And we're going to bring the left hand over our right hand as we bring both hands to the center. Let's take an opportunity to bow to ourselves for engaging in this practice, this energy, mindfulness, meditation practice that has been engaged with for hundreds of years. And I want to thank you for showing up, sharing, connecting. Hopefully this allows you to support, be present, heal, whatever you need. Thank you. If you have any comments, you can share. Hope this has been supportive and helpful to you. Till next time, be well, live well, take good care. Thank you again. And yeah, thank Toivo, Deer and Drum, and all these good people that allow me to share this practice.